We've all spent a lot of money on our board game collections. You're not watching this video if you hadn't. But which games are the biggest financial investment and which games can get
lost in the shuffle? Matthew has put together a little quiz for us.
Okay.
So what we have is 5 questions about the most expensive board games.
Okay.
Each one's going to have a different category. And in that category are going to be 3 games.
Okay.
And our job is to list them from least to most expensive.
Oh, least to most expensive. We get a point if we have it in the right spot, or we get a point if we have it all in the right order, or how do we want to score it? Yeah.
We should figure that out.
Yeah. I wonder if it should be if you have it in the right spot, because I'm nervous we will end it with 0 points if you have to have everything in the right spot.
Per individual pick.
Yes.
I agree. Round 1
is
all about collector's editions.
Okay.
Game number 1 is Star Wars The Queen's Gambit, based on the 4 battles at the end of Star Wars Episode 1, The Phantom Menace.
Okay.
Game number 2 is the Cold War classic GMT game, Twilight Struggle Collector's Edition. Did you know that Twilight Struggle had a collector's edition?
I mean, that's a popular enough game that I would have guessed, I suppose.
That one I didn't even know existed, so I have no idea what to expect from it. And game number 3 is the deluxe version of Outrage, which is based on stealing the crown jewels from the Tower of London.
I don't know Outrage.
I have not heard of that one either.
Okay.
Good luck to us.
Yes.
I have locked in my answers.
All right. Me too.
What did you put as your pick for, out of these 3, the least expensive one?
Least expensive to me, Outrage, because I don't know anything about it, and I don't believe that it has a deluxeified version since I've never heard of it. So
I picked the same game for the same reason.
Really?
so number 2, I picked the Twilight Struggle Deluxe Edition.
Okay.
For a similar reason.
Okay.
I'm familiar with Twilight Struggle, but I'm not aware of what the collector's edition is like.
Yeah, I picked Star Wars Queen's Gambit here. I think Twilight Struggle has enough big fans of the game that I think that is the most expensive one.
Oh.
So that was more a process of elimination, the fact that Queen's Gambit came in number 2 for me.
Oh, so what you're telling me is that there's no way we're going to be tied.
Yep,
okay.
That is true.
Queen's Gambit has been so many people's grail game for so long, I figured that was got to be the top of the list.
That's good logic. I can see it.
All right, well, let's see how we did.
Let's see.
Here are the official answers. Of those 3, the least expensive game is the Twilight Struggle Collector's Edition.
It was most expensive, so shows what I know.
And that Twilight Struggle Collector's Edition appears to go for $440.
That's a lot of money for a single game.
The second most expensive one was actually the Star Wars Queen's Gambit, which goes for a hair under $600 at $595. And of course, then the most expensive one was the deluxe version of Outrage,
which we did not know anything about.
Did not pick. Okay. But that one goes for $36,000.
What?
Plus $497 more dollars.
This game has made me outraged. I am outraged at outrage. $36,000. Like, why? Why is any game... Did you steal the actual jewels from the Tower of London?
That might be why.
There's one copy of this game and it has the actual jewels in it.
Print run of 1.
Yeah.
I did not get any.
I got 1 point because Star Wars I put in the middle spot and I flipped the other 2.
All right.
So I was very wrong and still got 1 point.
Okay, this one is based on the prices of games listed for sale on BoardGameGeek.com.
Okay.
So not necessarily...
I've heard of it.
So this is not their retail price, not their MSRP or their Kickstarter, whatever, what people have sold it for on BGG.
Okay.
Number 1 is the game Emotional Intelligence. In emotional intelligence, each player becomes a personality detective and aims to deduce the personality traits of the other players before their own personality is revealed.
Okay.
Game number 2
Okay.
is Wonderland's War
Love it.
Kickstarter Deluxe Edition.
A lot of fancy components in that.
The looking glass has shattered in Wonderland's War, and madness is being drained from the inhabitants, and war has come to Wonderland.
Okay.
What I appreciate most is that Matthew's description of the game told us nothing about what makes the deluxe Kickstarter version deluxe one.
Yeah.
Game number 3 is Discworld Ankh-Morpork, Deluxe Edition even. The Lord of the Land has disappeared, and different factions are trying to take control of the city. Each player has a secret personality, oh, that'd go well with emotional intelligence, with a specific set of victory conditions, which means that you're not sure exactly what the other players need to do in order to win.
Okay.
Do you know what you need to do in order to win?
I think so. I did it. I've got mine.
What did you put as your least expensive?
All right. I love the game, but Wonderland's War is not like rare. You know what I mean? Like a lot of people have it. I don't feel like it would sell for as much. The components are great in it, so I put that as my least expensive just because it's not super hard to come by.
Okay.
Yeah.
I actually did as well.
Okay. All right.
So for number 2,
Yep.
I put emotional intelligence.
I also did.
Ah, nerds.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we have the exact same ranking. This one. And game, for me, the most expensive, Discworld is just, like that whole book series is just so popular. And I don't feel like there's been that many games about it.
I believe that the Discworld game was for a while out of print and pretty heavily sought after.
Yeah, I believe it. Because it's a whole world. I mean, I've read some of those. I haven't read all those books, but I've read a few of them.
Discworld.
And there's, yeah. It's a cool world, you know, that Terry Pratchett created.
Oh, yeah. So this isn't going to move the needle at all.
Yeah, this is not, yes.
Bonus points idea. Whichever one of us can get closest without going over to the price of the most expensive game in this category gets a number of bonus points.
Sure. All right.
How many bonus points should it be?
And 1. It could be 1.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Okay.
We only scored 1 point in the first round. It was 1-0. I don't think 1's a pretty big deal right now.
Fine. Okay. Pick what you think without going over.
Okay.
The price of the most expensive game in this category is going to be.
Okay. I got it.
Coming in as the least expensive game in this category, your intuition was correct because it is the Wonderland's War Kickstarter Deluxe Edition.
All right.
Which has a price point of $1,279.99.
Also, that's more expensive than I would have expected.
Oh yeah, definitely.
You know, that is more. I mean, I figured it because it's out of print right now. I think they've run a couple of Kickstarters for it, but it doesn't currently have one. So I would have expected it to be like 500 or something like that. So you know, double your money there. It's almost $1,300.
Okay, coming in at number 2, the second most expensive was the Discworld Ankh-Morpork game.
Okay.
Which has sold for $1,303.
Yeah.
And the game Emotional Intelligence, which puts your personality to the test, was number 1, the most expensive at $1,500.
That's too much personality. Both got 1 point.
1 point. Okay.
Yeah.
So the most expensive game in this list was $1,500.
Yeah. I'm going to really blame this one on Outrage again. Outrage set the bar too high with $36,000 last question and really skewed my price, comparison here. So I said 8,000, so wasn't close at all. And I'm once again outraged at Outrage.
I put 9,311. So you actually get that bonus point because.
Do I? Even though I've gone so much over? No, we said without going over. You have forgotten the rules to your own game, sir.
I'm not good at this game.
Yeah. After 2 questions, I have 2 points, and Chaz has -5 points. He has somehow lost points in this game. Yeah.
This is a round that Matthew named Match the Game to the Price. He gave us the game descriptions, but he didn't give us prices.
So tough to match the game to the price. Are we just coming up with what we think the price is?
Oh, more rules. Yeah, let's do that. Yes, please.
You do great with them.
For each one of these, we'll not only put them in order.
Okay.
We'll also try to guess the price without going over.
Okay.
So we have a potential with this round of 6 points.
Okay. Sure.
Ordering, and then each of us, if we... Okay.
That works for me.
Wow.
Can you keep all that in your head?
Almost certainly not.
Yeah.
All of these are about Scrabble.
Oh, okay.
The first one is a Hanover Scrabble set, which set a pinnacle for sophistication in Scrabble. Encased in a soft-grain leather box, it features a luxurious lambskin Scrabble board and exquisite Napa letter tiles.
Yeah, you have to hold your pinky up when you put a letter down.
I think so. Number 2 is Smart Scrabble, which, get this, is used for tournament plays because it is able to uniquely identify any piece that you place on the board and read them aloud, keeping track of entire games completely on its own.
So if you spell something that isn't actually a word, it will physically call that out to everybody playing.
I think so too. Wrong!
Yeah, great.
Yes.
I already feel dumb when I play Scrabble. This is a way to feel even dumber playing the game.
I would like to call special attention to the fact that Smart Scrabble is able to keep track of the entire game completely on its own, which obviously is something that I need for this game that we're playing right now.
Yeah, for real.
Number 3, as if the first 2 were not luxurious enough, is the official Scrabble Luxury Edition.
They put it in the name.
They put it in the name.
Luxury Edition.
With the Luxury Edition, you can enjoy a sophisticated version of the classic word board game with the Scrabble Luxury Edition, which features an elegant 2-tone cabinet with burled wood details and, get this, a rotating faux leather Scrabble game board printed on the top. That's what makes it fancy. They print it on the top, not the bottom where you can't see it.
You did a great job with the top indicating.
I communicated that to you clearly enough?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, you were like a Smart Scrabble set there yourself. Just making it known.
What did you put down as the one that you thought was the least expensive?
I think the least expensive is Smart Scrabble. If you're using it for tournaments, it already takes a bunch of money to put on a tournament. I don't feel like you're buying a set that's like extravagant for a tournament. It's going to get knocked around. It's going to get dinged, you know?
I actually picked Smart Scrabble as well as the least expensive for the exact same reason. If it's ubiquitous enough to be in tournaments, it's got to be pretty easy to get a copy of.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay. For number 2, I put the Scrabble Luxury Edition.
I also did. We have the same ranking here again.
I know.
Don't try to fool me with luxury in your name. You're not as fancy as Hanover Scrabble.
That's exactly why I put Hanover as the most expensive, because they bothered to put a specific name in it. It's the Hanover edition.
Ooh, fancy. Luxury is a little, you know, it's a little gauche. You put it in the name.
Passe. Oh, yeah. Oh my God. Oh. Well, the least expensive one is actually the Scrabble Luxury Edition.
Yeah, get out of here, luxury. Don't try to, I mean, we weren't right, but I'm talking trash because it put luxury in its name.
I'll allow it. Yeah, the one that specifically said luxury is the least expensive one.
Yes.
Yeah. And it comes in at $345.
Okay.
I put $299.
Wow, because I put $300.
Are you kidding?
We all tried to be too cute with your retail pricing with your 99. I just went with full numbers like a normal person here.
Okay, I just want to point out, I put what?
$299. You're trying to be cute like a store putting a price tag on
and
it.
And you put $300.
Yes, okay. I did.
Put a bit in that. The second most expensive one is actually the Hanover Scrabble.
That's too bad.
You know, you got to hand it to Hanover. They know their limitations. They didn't want to overdo it. That's pretty good.
Which means Smart Scrabble is really number one? The one they use in tournaments? Yeah. That seems crazy.
It does, doesn't it?
If you like tournaments, there's people walking around, you're going to be knocking stuff around, you're going to have this crazy expensive set when someone's...
Yeah.
That's a wild move, Scrabble tournaments.
Risky.
Yeah.
Hanover Scrabble, though, is nothing to sneeze at.
Sure.
Coming in at $14,338.
That's a lot of money.
For the price of Hanover Scrabble, I put $599.
Well, you get this one.
Oh.
Because I put 500.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. That's
so
okay.
your 99 worked out for you there.
I got 99 problems and a point is one.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we got all of them in the wrong place.
Yes. Okay. I thought you put 600 for that. So I thought you sniped me again.
I would have loved to.
Well,
me tell you.
The game is not over yet.
Yeah.
Because the most expensive one was the Smart Scrabble, which goes for 30 grand.
Wow.
We must be thinking about this wrong. It must not be the set that they use for tournaments. It must be a set they use for a tournament.
Yeah, it must be like, they got a bunch of kings together and did a Scrabble tournament. This is only played by royalty in like Monaco.
I think that you're...
Yeah.
I think you nailed it.
Yeah.
Speaking of nailed it, the price I put for that one was $199.
Well, I did snipe you on this one because I put 200.
Point for you.
Boy.
Well, there's two more rounds, so maybe it is possible to flip these scores back around.
It is.
Regain some level of self-respect back. Matthew has named fourth round more Board Game Geek listings.
Perfect.
All right.
On the nose, Matthew. Straightforward. I love it.
Game number one for us to consider is a first edition copy of Stone Age.
Ooh.
With a seller's note, all in caps. In fact, all of this is all in caps.
Okay.
BNIS, first edition / first print MIP.
He's very proud of it. Or she, very, all caps, wants you to know, first edition, still getting rid of it.
Very high expectations for that person.
Yeah.
Number two is Doom, the board game, first edition, and a 2005 expansion board game set, new / sealed in plastic.
Okay.
I'm assuming that it is the original plastic.
Sure. Yeah.
They didn't
fair.
seal it in another game's plastic. That would be a lot of work.
Yeah.
And they probably would have put that all in caps.
Yeah.
Game number three is Surf's Up, with the listing stating Hawaii, 8 out of 10, condition complete in box.
There's a game that came out in 2024 called Surf's Up, so I don't think it's that game.
Oh, there's no way to know because Matthew's not telling us. Matthew did go on to tell us, though, that the rest of the listing says, a hard-to-find game, just like Monopoly, but was only made and sold in the state of Hawaii, about 30 years old.
Okay, so this not the game that came out this year. Interesting.
There's a lack of commas in this listing.
Yeah.
A hard-to-find game, just like Monopoly.
Yeah.
Now, does this mean it's hard to find, but it plays like Monopoly? Or does this person under the impression that Monopoly is hard to find?
I hope that they are saying a hard to find game, comma, it's like Monopoly, but was only made and sold in the state of Hawaii.
I'm hoping so.
So that seems to make more sense to me.
That changes my rankings significantly low.
Yeah.
What did you pick as the least expensive in this grouping?
I put Doom, the board game, first edition, because this is not how much these are worth. This is how much somebody listed them for.
Yes, exactly.
And this person listed theirs in a very straightforward manner and was just like, here's the game, want it, do you want it or not? I feel like they had a reasonable expectation of how much they could get for this game.
I am getting the suspicion that we ranked ours the same, because I ranked the same.
Based on that logic?
The same logic.
Yep.
Because my number two was the Surf's Up game.
Also was mine.
Okay.
Because number one, you're putting it all in caps. You think that game's worth a lot more than it probably is.
Yes, they have very high expectations for this.
You wrote in all caps, you are expecting a lot of money for this.
Yes.
And you're not going to get it, but you're hoping to. All right?
Well, let's find out if they did.
Yeah. All right.
Surprise, surprise for us, the least expensive game listing in this category actually was Stone Age.
I'd like to retract my previous comments. I'm sorry I made fun of you, seller. You wrote in caps for a good reason.
This all caps listing went for $2,000.
All right. I mean, that's a reasonable amount.
Sure. For a board game?
I mean, I'm just saying we've set the level here at $36,000. $2,000 seems okay.
But the $36,000 one would talk to you to let you know how badly you're doing at the game. The second one is the Doom board game, which went for $3,925.
So we got all of our rankings wrong here.
I know.
No points on that.
Which leaves, of course, the Surf's Up game, which may or may not be similar to and may or may not be as difficult to find as Monopoly.
Yeah.
Going for $5,444.99.
Hey, this person, you were soulmates right here.
Not a round number.
Yeah.
I put $371.
Well, I think we're doing Price is Right rules, so I'm a lot closer, but you get the point. Because if it was $5,444.99, I put $7,000.
Oh.
So I have gone over.
All right.
Welcome to your unearned point.
I'll take it.
Yeah. So I have 4 points, so it's still anybody's game right now.
Anybody's game as we go to the final round. A round which is all about collectible trading card games.
Okay. Well, and the hard thing about this is just collectible card games. Really what drives the price is fandom of this stuff.
I think it is really helpful to keep that in mind.
Okay.
And thank you for giving away your
Boy,
strategy to me.
I am bummed that I potentially helped you right now.
Card number 1 is from Yu-Gi-Oh! It is the Black Luster Soldier Stainless Steel. This unique version was awarded to the champion of the inaugural Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Monsters 1 tournament and is distinguished by its stainless steel printing.
Wow.
I don't know what that means exactly.
It sounds fancy though.
It does sound fancy.
And are they saying only a single one of these was made? It's the unique version awarded to the champion of a tournament.
I think so. I think there's one of them.
There's one of them. That is rare.
By the sounds of it, it's possible that the guy who won it turned around and sold
was like, I don't care.
Yeah.
You know how good I am at Yu-Gi-Oh? I'll win another.
Yeah. Card number 2 is from Magic the Gathering. No surprise there.
Sure.
A 1993 Alpha Edition graded CGC Pristine 10 Black Lotus.
These all sound very fancy.
Indeed. Card number 3 is a Pokemon card. The Illustrator Koro Comics promo, the elusive Pikachu Illustrator card from when Koro magazine held an art competition where the winners were given the card as a prize.
Okay. You ready?
Yes.
Okay, here we go.
What'd you put for the one that you thought was the least expensive in this category?
I think the Magic the Gathering one is the least expensive.
Really?
Because I think it's less rare. There are more Black Lotus cards than 1 or 10 or something like that. If I was talking about the US, Magic the Gathering is probably the most popular game here. But if I talked about the world, I don't think it is.
Now I'm no longer confident. Because for my number 1, I put the Yu-Gi-Oh! Card.
Okay. My number 2 was the Pokemon card.
Okay. Pokemon card was my number 2 as well.
Okay.
And my number 3, as the most expensive, was the Black Lotus.
And mine was the Yu-Gi-Oh! One. I mean, the Yu-Gi-Oh! One, I think, also threw me off a little bit, where it sounded like that was a 1-of-1 card. How much did that One Ring card sell for? Remember? I mean, that sold for millions.
Mm-hmm. Well, let's find out if it's fandom versus rarity.
Sure.
The lowest priced card on this list is indeed the Black Lotus from Magic the Gathering, which went for $3 million.
Okay.
As of August 2024, holds the record for the highest price ever paid for a Magic the Gathering card.
Okay.
And number 2 is the Pokemon card.
Boom. So I got 3 points for this round, yo.
The Pokemon card went for $5.2 million.
Wow. That is a lot of money.
That is a lot of money, but not as much money. You're right.
I mean, a 1-of-1. That's where it becomes like so crazy, you know? How much did it sell for?
Would you pay though $10 million for that 1-of-1? Because someone did.
I mean, I wouldn't, but boy, I would love to have that kind of money to spend on anything I wanted to.
That's a good point, yeah. I put my guess at $2.5 million and 99 cents.
Hey, you know what? You get a point out of this one because you're closer, because I was terrified of going over, so I just put 500,000. So
I got a point.
So you get a point, but I also got 3 points because I got them all in the right place.
Oy. I'm going to go recalibrate and try and not only remember what my score is, but how this game works.
Sure, yeah. No, you need some help. Take a breath, to do a breathing exercise and maybe a little meditation, something.
That's a good idea, Coach.
So we talked, one of the categories that we talked about here was Scrabble. And I am famously bad at word spelling games. I boggle, I just don't see any of the words. Scrabble, I never know how to spell stuff. One of the few word games I've found that I like because it makes a word spelling game cooperative is the game Alliterati. Yeah?
And I just happen.
Nice.
I happen to have that on my shelf.
We are spelling stuff together and trading tiles and helping each other out, and so it makes me feel like I'm not alone. Right? Like in a Scrabble, I'm just like looking at my tiles and being like, oh no, I gotta do something so everybody doesn't know I'm an idiot. And this is a game where I'm like, hey, if you're okay, like helping me out, then yes, I will play this one. So I liked it for that reason. You're like fighting against people who are stealing, there's bad guys in it and stuff like that, and
who hate literacy.
Yes, for someone who is not good at word spelling games, making it a cooperative experience worked for me well.
That charm of it is something that I really saw in the potential of this game, so I'm glad that you saw it too. And it makes me excited to actually get my copy back.
Cool, I hope you can play it soon.
Me too. Thanks for watching, and we will talk to you again. We need an outro.
Hey, be back here for the next episode where you're not gonna guess how much money games cost.